where information meets music.
It's never an easy thing, but you never said you'd stay forever. So if you must go, darling, I'll set you free. But I know in time we'll be together. I won't try to stop you now from leaving, 'cause in my heart I know love will lead you back. Someday I just know that love saying goodbye is never an easy thing, but you never said you'd stay forever. So if you must go, darling, I'll set you free. But I know in time we'll be together. I won't try to stop you now from leaving, 'cause in my heart I know love will lead you back. Someday I just know that love will lead you back to my heart, where you belong. I'm sure, sure as stars are shining, one day you will find me again, and it won't be long. One of these days our love will bring you back. One of these nights I hear your voice again. You're gonna say how much you'll miss me. You walk out this door, but someday you'll walk back in. Darling, I know this will be. Sometimes it takes, sometimes out on your own now, to find your way back home. Love will lead you back. Someday I just know that love will lead you back to my heart, where you belong. I'm sure, sure as stars are shining, one day you will find me again, and it won't be long. One of these days our love will bring you back. Oh, oh, oh. Yes, I won't try to stop you now from leaving, 'cause in my heart I know love will lead you back.
Someday I just know
Love will lead you back to my heart, where you belong. I'm sure, sure as stars are shining, one day you will find me again, and it won't be long. One of these days our love will bring you back.
Yes, yes, yes. One of these days, our love will bring us back. Man, big tune, brand new by Tony Anthony out of Canada. Want to say a very good evening and welcome to everyone checking out the Wayne Hall Show right now. Yes, you know what? I need to get this up and going. What am I doing? I need my sponsor banners to be up so you can see islandworldwide.com. Good evening and welcome. Those checking in on islandworldwide.com. Check out, big up to the Sutherlands, man. Bless up, bless up, bless up. Hype FM, Frankie Lex and the crew. Big up Frankie Lex, reggaevibesradio.com. Nitty Gucci, Reds, DJ Sean, viscosityblend.com. Big shout out to the man himself, Rupiti the Blender. Catch him every Tuesday at 8 right here on the Wayne Hall Network. Clark TV Network, Chester Clark and the crew. Good evening to you. And make sure you catch my show tomorrow night, all right, on Fresh FM Radio, 5:30 p.m. our time, 10:30 p.m. UK time, all right? Hey, my guest is Nanimus, gospel recording artist out of the ATL. Big up to everyone locked in on Yard Flow TV. Bless up. And you know what? I'm going to get that logo up here because you are also tuned in on youchooseradio.com. You Choose Radio. Big up to everyone on youchooseradio.com. Hey, DJ VJ Smiles. Bless up. We got you coming in hard. I see Maxine Lyons. How are you, Maxine? Christine Rendell. Oh, my goodness. Bless up yourself, Christine. Pat Beckles. Welcome. Good evening. All right. Am I missing anyone on the live here? Christine, VJ Smiles. I see Pat Beckles and Maxine. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got a great show lined up. I won't lie to you. When I tell you we have information tonight, we have information. Anthony Turner at the 8:15. Then we're gonna have Miss Lorna Beck out of Charleston, CEO of Healthy Lifestyle Network. We're gonna talk about human trafficking, followed by Dr. Lavern Deer, and we're gonna continue the topic of human trafficking with her. Then we have Dr. Zeudiann Coleman, and we're gonna talk about your health and more. So what a great show. Share it with somebody. Let them know there's a plethora of information to be had on the Wayne Hall show this evening. We also have Mr. Gary McCook telling us by way of an ad about a big event this Sunday, man. You know, I'm looking at the schedule. I think I got to call Gary at some point tonight, find out what the JIIFSC is up to, because I see something going down. So, Gary, good evening and welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, great show for you. And we're going to just keep it going, right?
Yeah, baby. My sweet honey.
Hey, Clementine.
I love you now. I love you now. I really do. I believe in miracles.
Sing out.
Where you from? You sexy thing, I said. I believe in miracles. Since you came along, you sexy thing, remember, you are the paper, I am the ink in the pen, so I'm going to write in your book then, I've got the flow and the style then, so I question me ask then, where did you come from, baby? How did you know I needed you, girl? How did you know that I needed you so badly? How did you know that I give my heart gladly? Yesterday, I was a lonely man, but today I'm not. Now you're lying next to me, making love to me. I believe in miracles. Boy, honey, where you from? You sexy. What did I say? I believe in miracles. Since you came along, you sexy thing, yes. I love you now and forever. By my side, girl, I want to stay. Don't forget you're my treasure. Disrespect you, no, I will never. Where did you come from, angel? How did you know I am the one, girl? How did you know you were everything I prayed for? How did you know every night and day for? Yesterday, I was a lonely man, but today I'm not. Now you're lying next to me, since you came along. You sexy thing, yes. Now we link as a team, and you don't know that my character clean. Every time you see you look fresh like the water from the stream. Girl, you forever my queen. Where did you come from, baby? How did you know I needed you? Girl, how did you know that I needed you so badly? How did you know that I give my heart gladly?
DJ Wayne, your dub
I
master.
was a lonely man.
For all the lovely ladies in the world, this one is special for you. Ladies.
A few stolen moments is all that we share. You've got your family and they need you there. Though I've tried to resist being last on your list, but there's no other girl is gonna do. So I'm saving all my love. Yes, I'm saving all my love for you. It's not very easy living all alone. My friends try and tell me find a girl of my own, but each time I try, I just break down and cry, 'cause I'd rather be home feeling blue. So I'm saving all my love. Yes, I'm saving all my love for you.
Saving it just for you, lady.
All my love. You used to tell me we'll run away together. Love give you the right to be free. You said be patient, just wait a little longer. But that's just an old fantasy. I've got to get ready, just a few minutes more. Gonna get that old feeling when you walk through the door. 'Cause tonight is the night for feeling alright. We'll be making love the whole night through. So I'm saving all my love. Yes, I'm saving all my love for you. No other man gonna love you more than I do. 'Cause tonight is the night. We'll be feeling alright. We'll be making love the whole night through. Yes, I'm saving all my love. Girl, I'm saving all my love. Saving all my love for you.
To the
Gabdrew
nitty-gritty.
Records in association with Axim Records presents the JIIFSC Reflection Projection event on a special edition of the Wayne Hall Show, hosted by Wayne Hall, Sunday, January 30th at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time via Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and the Wayne Hall Radio app. Join us as we reflect on our premiere event in 2021 and highlight our projections for 2022. Special guests will be Lavern Deer, our 2021 winner from Canada, Russ Fraser Jr. and Raga Lux, our second and third place winners from the USA, Zena Banks, JIIFSC's first female finalist out of London, Rudy Page, CEO and founder of MCW Network London. King Noah out of Germany, our first entrant into the JIIFSC competition. And yours truly, Gary G, president and founder of JIIFSC. See you on Sunday, January 30th at 4 p.m.
Check out the latest single by Queen Kamala featuring Sativa, Tired of Crime and Violence.
Me say me tired, that me say too much blood around. You see that? Jamaica, we tired of the crime and the violence.
Check out this track on all digital platforms. Follow up on social media on Facebook at Queen Kamala, on Instagram at Queen Kamala, and on Twitter at Queen Kamala. For bookings, call 347-743-3348. That's the latest single by Queen Kamala featuring Sativa, Tired of Crime and Violence.
Why so much shooting? Why so much victim?
She bring out the lion in me. Bring out the lion in me. As she dance across the floor, she turn and smile at me. I couldn't ask for more. Standing ovation, she deserve an encore. Damn, she's beautiful. She make a lion. She bring out the lion in me. She bring out the love in me. And anytime we touch, me want some more. She bring out the lion in me. She bring out the love in me. And every time we make love, me want some more. Once in a lifetime, find this kind of love, pure and deep. It touches your soul. She's on fire. She lights up my world when she spin a roll and give me that pose. She brings out the lion in me. She brings out the love in me. And anytime we touch, me want some more. She brings out the lion in me. She brings out the love in me. And every time we make love, me want some more. Love in me, and anytime we touch, me want some more. She brings out the lion in me. She brings out the love in me, and every time we make love, me want some more. She brings out the lion in me. She brings out the love in me, and every time we make love. She brings out the light in me. She brings out the love in me. And every time we make love, we want some more. She brings out the light in me. She brings out the love in me. We want some more. We want some more. We want some more.
Yeah, man, you can't miss that one. That's Imar Shepherd, He Shall Not Want, right here on the Wayne Hall Show, bringing out the lion in me. Roar. The song is entitled Want Some More. Check him out on all digital platforms, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I can read your lips. Well, I'm glad you can. I'm glad you can, because it helps with the communication. All right. Andrea Brown McNeish, good evening and welcome. DJ Reds, yeah, man, a big tune, not true, Reds. Reds want to pull up, you know. Him have a funny way of asking for a pull up. Because him is a DJ, and him know sometimes DJ no want to hear pull up. That's Reds have a funny way of asking for pull up. All right. DJ Reds, big up yourself. All right, let's see. Everyone on the live, man. Good evening and welcome. Vibes Master, Mr. Chris will be in the building. Chris, how are you, man? Big up yourself, Vibe Master. Gary, presenter clearly. Whoa, say leave me alone because I can't be unruly on Wayne Hall. Presenter, why you gonna say something like that? I don't understand why presenter would say that.
Present flavor love. Clearly been searching my whole life for a girl like you that is so nice. Pain inside makes my soul cry.
Big shout out to Violet White. Hello, Violet. Welcome. Good evening to the Hope Transitional House. Hey, Sandra. Welcome. Good to have you. To a gold mine. Canada in the building. Linda. Hello, Linda.
See divine nature, a real life savior. Keep me from danger. Your loving full of flavor. Sweet divine nature, a real life savior. Keep me from danger. This a angel far from sky. I always close, never far from eye. Her vibes and style make me laugh and smile. She's my light through the darkest times. Give me a peaceful mood at night. My rhythm and blues, my groove and spice. Loyal queen, she no loose and hype. Who carry news, please move one side. Full of flavor, sweet divine nature, a real life savior. Keep me from danger. Your loving full of flavor. See the one nature, a real life savior. Keep me from danger. Been searching my whole life for a girl like you that is so nice. The pain inside make my soul cries, but I saw true love in the
Presenter clearly.
I went left, I turned
Right.
You're my
Love at first sight.
I was confused and so blind till I stepped right into a gold mine. Your loving full of flavor, sweet divine nature, a real life savior. Keep me from danger.
That's right. The name is Presenter clearly.
Your loving full of flavor.
Check him out on all digital platforms, all right? Please support the artists for this music, ladies and gentlemen, that you hear on the Wayne Hall Show. Want to say big shout out to everyone on YouTube and the WayneHallShow.com. Oh my goodness.
Beat of my heart, girl. My phone don't need no passwords. What I have is hard work. You got me in your corner. You're the beat of my heart, girl.
Sandra Price, good evening, welcome.
Passwords. What I have.
That's right, the son of Presenter clearly. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of my favorite songs for 2022 so far. I gotta admit it. And it's called Supernatural by China Nicole. Listen to the message in the music. You're listening to the Wayne Hall Show.
I'm supernatural. Ooh, I'm walking in my faith, 'cause I have a purpose. And even if I fall hard, I get back up. And ooh, what a feeling when I know what I can do. Sometimes I wonder, how did I make it through? Well, I had a feeling it'll be alright, yeah. I looked to my God and He cleared the way through. He gave me the feeling it'll be alright.
That's right.
Sunny days are ahead. I'm supernatural. Ooh, I'm walking in my
That's right. One of my favorite songs of 2022. Let's go. China Nicole, Supernatural.
heart. I get back up and ooh, what I'm feeling when I know what I can do. If you're ever feeling broken down, torn apart to pieces, it'll be alright. And I can tell you that it won't take too long. Be strong, cause it'll be alright.
That's right. It will be all right.
Cause better days are ahead.
Uh-huh.
Better days ahead, yeah, yeah. Ahead.
Shout out to the First Lady, Michelle Mark Harty. Welcome.
Ooh, I'm on
Sandra says it's a beautiful song. Indeed it is.
purpose.
From my songbird sister in China, Nicole.
Get back up and ooh, what I'm feeling when I know what I can do. I'm supernatural. Ooh, I'm walking in my faith. I have a purpose.
Welcome, Don Richards. Good evening and welcome, everyone, checking out the Wayne Hall Show right now.
Back up and ooh,
Happy to have you.
what a feeling when I know what I can do. Supernatural, supernatural. What a feeling when I know what I can do.
That's right. Supernatural to the nitty gritty end. Good evening again and welcome to everyone on the Wayne Hall Show tonight. Great show. Lots of wonderful information. All right. And as a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, standing by, all right, standing by, we have Miss Lorna Beck. She's the CEO of the Healthy Lifestyle Network. And Miss Lorna Beck is standing by. We're going to be talking here in less than a minute or so. After this short break, we're going to get over to Mrs. Lorna Beck, and we're going to talk human trafficking. My goodness, I had no clue how serious this was until I started to prepare for this show, ladies and gentlemen, and these conversations I'm going to have tonight. So, thank you, thank you, thank you. Christine Rendell birthday is coming up soon. All right, you know, last year we celebrated it big time on the Wayne Hall Show, right? Yeah, I don't know what's up this year though. Secret. Shh. All right.
Gav Drew Records, in association with Axim Records, presents the JIIFSC Reflection Projection event on a special edition of the Wayne Hall Show, hosted by Wayne Hall, Sunday, January 30th at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time via Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and the Wayne Hall Radio app. Join us as we reflect on our premier event in 2021 and highlight our projections for 2022. Special guests will be Lavern Deer, our 2021 winner from Canada, Russ Fraser Jr. and Ragalux, our second and third place winners from the USA, Zena Banks, JIIFSC's first female finalist out of London, Rudy Page, CEO and founder of MCW Network London, King Noah out of Germany, our first entrant into the JIIFSC competition, and yours truly, Gary G, president and founder of JIIFSC. See you on Sunday, January 30th at 4 p.m.
That's this Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. Special edition of the Wayne Hall Show. We're going into JIIFSC land, and it's all about the annual foreign international song contest. All right. And so we're going to reflect on last year. Laviluja won. We had some great finalists. You see the great panelists put together. Gary McCook, big up your bad self. Because guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We're going to have an even better year in 2022. So I look forward to Sunday at 4. Tell everyone, tune in Sunday at 4. All right? We're going to make it so much fun for all our viewers and the listeners. Ladies and gentlemen, as I promised you, we have Miss Lorna Beck. Miss Lorna Beck, she is out of Charleston, South Carolina. And you know what? She's probably more known for the Carry Fest and the Reggae Wine and Jerk Festival. But she's such a big advocate of human trafficking and working with especially children who have suffered from molestation and stuff like that. And she does a great project every year. She goes down to Portland, her hometown, and just does so much work for the kids down there. So it gives me great pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to hop on over and welcome. I'm going to even take the liberty of saying my good friend. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Did I just say that? Yes, I'm going to go over and take the liberty of saying welcome to my good friend, who I'm going to ask to unmute so that we can hear her. Please unmute so we can hear every word you say tonight, Miss Lorna. There you go. You know what? I need to make one switch too so I can hear you. There we go. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you.
Hearing you loud and clear. It's good to have you.
So, by the way, you didn't want to claim me?
Hey, you ever hear them say you have to be careful, but when you try climb up to big company.
I claim you readily.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hang out in Charleston twice a year for the last 3 or 4 years. And it's an amazing experience. So you all need, somebody saying, looking good, Miss Lorna. That came from Michelle Hall. All right.
Nice. That's my true friend.
Oh, my goodness. And so spreading the culture, but here you are, Miss Lorna. And I always call you Miss Lorna. Miss Lorna Beck is here tonight, though wearing one of the many hats. This time it's all about human trafficking. And, you know, recently we had a commission set up by the Consul General for Miami, for Jamaica in Miami, and for the Southeast, Mr. Oliver Mair. Miss Lorna Beck is one of the members on it. She's also the CEO of Healthy Lifestyle Network. And so it's a pleasure to have you. And, you know, Miss Lorna, if you'll allow me, before I even get into this conversation, can I play a short video about what is human trafficking?
Absolutely. That's needed.
All
Perfect.
right. So, ladies and gentlemen, watch with me as I try to show the what is human trafficking video. And it's from the Blue Campaign site, DHS, Department of Homeland Security, and trying to make us aware. Let me see if it works. I hope it does. Here we go. All right. Oh, there it is. It's on your screen. And I'm going to go over. I'm going to make this big and hit play. See how it comes through. All right.
What is human trafficking? Human trafficking is modern-day slavery. It is the exploitation of a person through force, fraud, or coercion. Human smuggling and human trafficking are different crimes. Human smuggling is the illegal movement of someone across a border. Human trafficking is the illegal exploitation of a person. Human trafficking is about exploitation, not transportation. Human trafficking is a highly profitable crime and a violation of human rights. It occurs in every part of the world, including here in the United States. It happens in our big cities, our suburbs, and even in rural towns. It can happen to anyone. Human trafficking victims can be U.S. citizens or from other countries. Victims can be any age, race, or gender. But one thing they share is that they are vulnerable to being exploited. There are different types of human trafficking, including sex trafficking, forced labor, and domestic servitude. Sex trafficking victims are manipulated or forced against their will to engage in sex acts for money. Sex traffickers might use violence, threats, manipulation, or the promise of love and affection to lure victims. Truck stops, hotel rooms, rest areas, street corners, clubs, private residences. These are just some of the places where victims are forced to sell sex. Any person under the age of 18 involved in a commercial sex act is considered a victim of human trafficking. No exceptions. Forced labor takes on many forms, and it happens here in the US and overseas. Through force, fraud, or coercion, victims are made to work for little or no pay. Very often, these victims are forced to manufacture or grow the products that we use and consume every day. Victims of forced labor could be found in factories, on farms, doing construction work, and more. Victims of domestic servitude are hidden in plain sight, forced to work in homes across the United States. Their traffickers sometimes take their identification papers and travel documents in order to limit their freedom. They are prisoners, working as nannies, maids, or domestic help. Every year in the United States, thousands of human trafficking cases are reported, but many more go unnoticed. That's because human trafficking is a hidden crime. Victims might be afraid to come forward, or we may not recognize the signs, even if it's happening right in front of us. We need to bring this crime out of the shadows. That's why the Department of Homeland Security created the Blue Campaign, to take a stand against modern-day slavery and help combat this heinous crime by raising awareness of human trafficking around the country. But we can't do it alone. We need your help. So what can you do to stop human trafficking? Visit the Blue Campaign website to learn more about the signs and indicators of human trafficking. Share this video on social media to help bring this crime out of the shadows. Be an informed consumer. Know who makes the products you buy and the food you eat to help keep slavery-tainted items out of your home. And finally, recognize and report suspected human trafficking. You can submit a tip to federal law enforcement online or by phone. For victim support, you can call or text the National Human Trafficking Resource Center. Help us bring this crime out of the shadows and into the light. Join the Blue Campaign. One voice, one mission, end human trafficking.
All right. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, that great video on human trafficking. And you know, Ms. Lorna, great
Yeah.
information already. Oh my gosh. Thank
Yes.
and you know, we appreciate all that's done to help with this, because I watched a movie the other day, 407, Apartment 407, and it's crazy. It's so scary what happens on the inside of this problem. So please tell us about your involvement with the commission and some of the things that we need to be aware of so we can help to fight this menace.
Well, so I'm gonna jump out and say, first of all, because one of the things people tend to think is that human trafficking. Can you see me? Okay, I'm trying to hold this iPad.
Okay, now we do. Now we do.
Okay.
Right there is good.
Okay.
Yes.
So people tend to think that human trafficking is only sex workers, but it is important for people to know that human trafficking covers just every gamut, and outside of sex workers, one of the highest areas is actually in agriculture. And so you can traffic someone for labor. Yes, you can traffic someone for labor. And if you're forcing people, you're coercing them, you're using other means to get people to work, you're taking them from A to B. Yes, you're trafficking. They're being trafficked. So that's one of the most important things for people to recognize, is that you can be be a trafficked victim outside of sexual workers. And you know, the Attorney General for South Carolina gave the South Carolina report for last year. And in South Carolina, we are seeing a steady increase, from 2019 to 2020 to 2021. The number of victims have gone up with a significant increase in children that are being trafficked. And so anybody can be trafficked, whether you are a child or an adult, but it's especially painful when little kids are involved in this kind of activity. And even though this may not be a trafficking story, I just want to tell you, I just saw YouTube announcement today of this lady in Jamaica who left her 7-year-old with the neighbor, only to come home and she found that the neighbor had raped her 7-year-old child.
Oh Lord.
And so, childhood sexual molestation, childhood sexual abuse is horrible. And these kids are sometimes trafficked. And it's that desire for childhood sexual involvement that kind of drives some of all of this, because people have these urges to want to make out with kids. It's horrible, totally horrible. I must say that I'm glad to see that more attention is being paid to human trafficking, and that America is really trying to put things in place to help fight it, that the White House is involved in helping to fight human trafficking. And we are getting ready to have one of the biggest seasons when we have, or the biggest event that contributes to human trafficking, and that is the Super Bowl. What? People are, yes, most, I could easily say all major events that happen in this country, people are trafficked. They whether they kidnap people, whether they have other means of forcing them, coercing them, making promises, but they literally take bus loads and plane loads of people to these towns. And that's one of the biggest activity that goes on, and it's all around. This one specifically is for sexual activity, but yes, you could literally go stand on a street corner during these big events and just observe, and you can see the activities taking place. What you won't necessarily know is that some of these ladies all dressed up fancy and escorting gentlemen, that they are being forced. But yes,
Wow.
it is. Human trafficking is some $30-40 billion industry in the world. There are people that are involved in every area: rich, poor, black, white, purple, pink. It's big, very, very big. Yes.
This is so sad. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're speaking with the CEO of Healthy Lifestyle Network, Ms. Lorna Beck, on the topic of human trafficking. And we're getting some real serious information here, because I didn't know it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. I know it's out there, but when you mention like the Super Bowl, that it's one of the times when that goes up, that's sad to have to even accept, man.
And a lot of those athletes, that's one of the perks. That's one of the perks. And so they are, they don't necessarily know where their person is coming from.
So what can the average person do to try and help fight this problem?
Well, I would say one thing is to be a lot more vigilant, to be more observe more, you know, because there are times when you can see people's actions and you can suspect that that something is wrong. With terms of children, you know, sometimes kids get involved with alcohol. Kids display raucous behavior, and we don't stop to think that it could be some underlying reason that's causing the
Right.
behavior. You know, if you see someone has suddenly a totally radical change in their behavior and in the way they carry themselves, you can wonder. And I want to say this: if a child is involved in sexual activity, then people need to recognize that that in and of itself is a crime. And people tend to label kids. And I heard this on a training I did yesterday, and the person providing the training was talking about an experience with her kids that she works with, and how one of the first things she teaches them
Yes.
is that they have a name. They have a name, because people tend to call them everything but their name.
Wow.
And so they have to learn they're not hoe, they're not bitch, they're not any of those other things that people tend to call them. They're not prostitutes. They have a name. They're a person outside of what has happened to them as a victim of trafficking. And so I think that's a very important thing. I just wanted to throw that in there while I go down telling you some of the things that we can be more
Yes.
observant of
Mhm.
with people. You know, you see a child walking, and you know, children have different ways of behaving, and they can be moody and sullen and stuff, but sometimes you can literally see how a child is acting with an adult, and you can just know something is wrong.
Right. Right.
You can just know something is wrong,
Oh my goodness.
you
So
know.
we got to be
So
so vigilant
mhm.
and hope that if we are bringing attention to it, that whoever we get involved will actually treat it seriously.
Yeah. You know, in Jamaica, you don't have to know. You don't have to know. You see a certain behavior, you suspect an activity, you are told by somebody else. You can literally call the police, and then it becomes their job to investigate. It becomes their job to bring in whomever is needed, counselor or whatever, to investigate. So all you have to do is report.
Okay.
And so it's like they've given that mandate to everybody. It's like everybody's now required to be a mandatory reporter. And if everybody would take up that mantle and report things, because you know, in Jamaica, people who see somebody chop somebody else off and they wouldn't say a word.
Right. Right. You know, it is, you know.
Yeah, but if you take up that mantle to report things when you see children being abused, when you see suspicious activity, and of course, you know, I'll always say, if a child happens to tell you, you don't have to know whether it's true or not. Just report it. Just report it. Because sexual abuse and human trafficking just so tied together that you have to pay attention to all of it.
Right. Wow. Okay. Great. Well, we're trying our best here to shed as much light on it as we can. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about what you do for the kids down there in Portland, the community in Portland, before you go, or anything else you want to share before you go? I'm not asking.
Start off by saying Jamaica is a tier 2 there's a report that's done, a tip report that's done on countries, and America is supposed to be, tier one, doing everything that they can. Jamaica is in a tier two, meaning that they have not done everything that they can do, but they're actively working
Okay.
yes, they're active working. Tier three is when you are not doing stuff, but you don't meet the criteria and you're not making any effort. But Jamaica is tier two because we are doing things. So to tie that back to the last thing you asked is that, so one of our efforts in Port Antonio that we're doing is educating the children, educating the community. That's one of the activities that is required to help improve your standing on the tip report. So we are working with that. We have a conference every November in Port Antonio for girls. And if 2 years ago we started doing the boys, and so we educate them on ways to help protect themselves from childhood sexual activity. We teach them about human trafficking, and so this is our way of trying to educate the children. And then we also do programs for the adults, so we educate the entire community on this. And other things that we do as part of Healthy Lifestyle Network and the Shelton Project in Port Antonio, we're working with the primary schools. Right now, we are in the process of trying to outfit a computer room and a library at Port Antonio Primary School. And so others can help. So you guys that are hearing me, you can help. We're trying to get books. We're trying to get computers. This school still doesn't have enough. The children still don't have enough These kids use the tablets, and they still don't have enough tablets. And for the first time in 2 years, since school shut down back in March 2020, for the first time, it's a week now, our entire school body has been able to go back to school, but it's still not 5 days. So the kids go 2 days. It's like divided into two. Half of the school goes for Monday and Tuesday, and the other half they'll go Wednesday and Thursday. So it's still not full day, but at least they're all going back into the classroom at some point in time in the week. Okay. And that's a big improvement, but they still need computer laptops. So if anybody wants to help us as we work to try and provide these kids with laptops for the kids to use and computers to outfit the computer center, we'd greatly appreciate it. So this is Healthy Lifestyle Network. We're a 501c3. So any donations that made to us is tax exempt. So, we'd love to be able to get every child that's in need to have a tablet and to have the computer room fully set up with computers that they can do assignments. And, this is the way the world is going. You have to learn how to maneuver the computer.
Wow. Yep. We're in Portland exactly. Someone is asking, one of the viewers.
In Port Antonio. We're in Port Antonio.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And the more help we get, the quicker we'll be able to go to another school, because we want to finish with Port Antonio Primary so we can go to Boundbrook Primary.
Okay.
So we need help. We need help.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from her, Miss Lorna Beck, working hard on protecting our children and also just spreading, trying to help enhance quality of life for those in need. The topic, human trafficking. She's part of the committee commissioned by our CG for the Southeast from Jamaica, based in Miami, Mr. Oliver Mair. Miss Lorna, thank you for all your hard work. We're going to continue the dialogue, just so you know, with Dr. Lavern Deer here shortly. We appreciate all you're doing. We're just trying our best to help get the word out. Thank you.
Yes, and for everybody, this month is the blue campaign, so you can wear blue all month long, but you need to recognize. I hope that everybody, whenever you see blue from after today, that you know that there is a program in place, the blue campaign, to help victims of human trafficking.
Beautiful. Ms. Lorna Beck, thank you. Have a great rest of the evening. Appreciate
God
all
bless
you
you.
do for the quality of life of our children and the culture of Jamaica.
Oh
Have a
yes,
good
and
evening.
thank you, because you're a real true ambassador. We appreciate you.
You have a great evening, my
God
friend.
bless. All right. Absolutely.
Take care. All right,
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen, the information continues right here. I just want to say a big shout out to everyone. I see Beto, Papa Beto, bless up yourself, joining us, Sandra Price. All right. Anyone else who joined us shortly, man, it's always a pleasure to have you on the Wayne Hall Show. Thank you so much, and thanks to everyone who shared it. It's our motto is where information meets music. And right now we're going to continue with the information because I'm about to bring in two members, ladies and gentlemen, of the MICO community right here on the Wayne Hall Show. All right. And they are gonna be sharing stuff with us about an upcoming MICO event before we get into the conversation with Dr. Lavern Deer. So on your screen, let me get him on your screen right now, is Mr. Peter James. And ladies and gentlemen, bear with me. I'm multitasking and I'm moving at the rates of lightning right now. So let me go find Peter's full title. All right, Diaspora Public Relations Member of the MICO past students and Diaspora Ambassador, Miss Claudette Morris. So let me make sure Claudette is connecting to audio still. Peter, good evening and welcome. How are you? Peter, please unmute so we can hear every word you say.
I'm fine, Wayne. Thanks for hosting us again.
I
The Wayne
won't
Hall
tell
Show.
MICO you did that.
I hear there's supposed to be a T-shirt on mute. I'm going to try to sell some of those. Take it, come off mute.
All right. Okay. All right. So, Peter, I see Claudette is still connecting. I hope everything is okay with her technology there. You know how it is these days.
Yep.
But real quickly, Peter, before I get into this upcoming conversation, MICO has some good things going on. It's the 185th year anniversary?
No, the 185th. Yep, the 185th year when we came on first.
Right.
This is the 100th anniversary of MOSA, which is the MICO Old Student Association.
Okay. So what's going on, and what's the focus of the activities? Tell us.
Well, basically, what we're trying to do is to launch a huge membership drive in the process. We're trying to get out to let folks know about the activities. We have a bunch of those starting on Sunday the 30th. We have the official launch and kickoff. We have a Thanksgiving service starting at 2 p.m. in the Quadrangle at MICO. Now, let me make a note here. We're not expecting folks, because of the COVID situation, to be there. So it's going to be broadcasted live on Love TV. So it's going to be a live event. And you're going to have quite a few different activities geared at kicking off what we're going to have a complete set of activities for the whole week going forward. And we have more coming up, but we are starting out this Sunday at 2 p.m. in the Quadrangle at 1A Marasca Road. Back to you, Wayne. Give me the point. Mrs. Morris is now on. So
okay. All right. So, Mrs. Claudette Morris, good evening and welcome. How are you? Unmute, please. It's not everything Peter do we're going to follow.
Yes. Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for having us.
It's my pleasure to have you. And just, so the world knows what's going on. Peter just talked in general about the focus of the activities, where it's going to happen and stuff. What about the mediums and ways in which, I tell you what, tell us what kinds of contributions are acceptable. Okay, we could
Okay,
start there.
so first I want to make sure that everybody far and wide knows that we are celebrating Mosa's 100th anniversary. We're 100 years old, and we have been doing a lot for the college since over the years. Okay, so one big important thing that's going to happen on that first kickoff day is that we're going to have a proclamation from the Governor General
Mm-hmm.
saying
Okay.
that the whole year
Wow.
is dedicated to the Mosa centenary.
Okay.
So we're getting that from the Governor General. It's going to be read on the day of next Sunday, the 30th. So we have a church service. We have in the Archbishop from Dover,
Yeah.
who is going to be presenting our message to us. And in the afternoon, after that is finished, then we're gonna have the actual launch. We're gonna have some, fantastic things going on, balloons going up. We're gonna have where we're gonna put some things in the archive so that our next generation a couple of years from now can go into that box and take out some artifacts and remember that this is what we did when we celebrated 100 years. We have lots of activities. Do you want me to go into some of those activities?
Please do. Please do. Real
Okay.
quick.
Okay, so we have like 6 major activities. So the first one is a launch. Then we have MOSA week,
Okay.
which is a week where we do career development because we still have
Mm-hmm.
to cater to the students on site to prepare them for the work world. We have seminars we're going to have with them to talk about what they need to prepare for when they go out. We have presenters. We have an international symposium, so we're getting presenters from all over the world, from Singapore and other places, to give their perspective, because we are talking about education operating a new paradigm, because we know COVID has changed a lot, and
Right.
different areas have different approaches, have different experiences. So we're bringing them in this forum to share and to say, how it has impacted in that region and how we can have some lessons learned and move forward. We have even of musical excellence, because we still have to celebrate. So we're gonna have an evening of musical excellence that's coming up, I think, in May. But everything is gonna be posted, and we have our celebration that's gonna be a gold medal award celebration at the end, because we still have to celebrate all the contributions that our alumni have been making and to nation building. So all that we are celebrating throughout the period. One
Awesome.
one big thing we have also, when we celebrated, so MICO is 100 years. So when the college had reached 100 years, because you had our president on recently when MICO was celebrating 185th,
The
right?
185th, right?
Yeah. So at that point, when they got to 100, MOSA, the alumni body, built a chapel, right? So that was our signature project at that time. For this, our centennial, we want to build also another big project, which is a building that we want to use as a conference center and cultural center. So we are reaching out to our alumni far and wide, because this is going to take some big bucks to get it off the ground. So we are going to ask for contributions. Our website is up, so a lot of information that they may not get right now, they can go to the website, get the information. There are options to donate, so you can donate at the website, and you can also send your contributions through other areas. Quickly, before I just want to make sure I get everything in. So part of my function as the diaspora ambassador Formosa is to interact with alumni and chapters outside of Jamaica, to make sure that we're coming under the one umbrella to serve the alma mater, the MICO. So we are getting contributions from we're getting a emerging chapter in UK.
Awesome.
We, for Peter's chapter, it's a new chapter in Georgia.
Atlanta.
Great.
So yeah, in Atlanta. So they're gearing up and they're working down there to make sure they support the alma mater. We have a chapter in New York that's 47 years old. We have a chapter in Florida also. We have the chapter in Manchester, that's like 50 something years old. So Myconians have been contributing and have been gathering together over the period to see, how they can build this synergy around different things so that we always are able to support the MICO.
Right.
Part of the activities also is to do more outreach, because we were challenging ourselves to say, well, at least 100 and something new members. We wanted different persons to bring in all these new members. So we are still targeting that, and that's going to be a big kickoff we're going to have to make sure we get more members in, because the more we get together, because we can only be build if we do things together.
Right.
All right, so I'll take a break and have Peter put in his.
Wayne, I'm going to tie it up, Wayne. I know your time is going, but it's an enrichment. I mean, and from those Myconians who are listening right now, who are tuning in, we expect you to spread the word. I mean, don't just keep it yourself. Don't keep us a secret. What we're trying to do is to reach out, and there are Myconians are in every continent that exists, probably except Antarctica. But we do want your participation in some way or the other, cash or kind. Joining the groups, re-energizing groups like some of the groups in the Cayman Islands and some other areas in the US. So please come on board, support us in whatever way you can for this 100th MOSA anniversary, and make it a big deal as we normally do. As we said, we're doing it with our mind.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it from our MICO family. They're going to have to make me an honorary Myconian. After all this,
soon win.
and Wayne, you're doing so much for us that will be no problem, right? We
Hey,
just
Claudia, you
ask
got to be
and you
careful.
say yes.
Don't
Miss
give
Claudia,
that run.
move your head a little to your left. I want to see behind you.
left.
Oh yeah, okay. A little
that's
more.
our
No, a little. Yeah,
that's our 100 symbol.
The 100 symbol of MOSA, MICO
yes.
Old Students Association.
Yes.
Great. All right. Well, thank you guys. Sorry to be in a rush tonight,
Yes,
but I'm glad you were
understand.
able to get the word out. Please support MICO. Those of you who are Myconians or not, MICO has one rule: everybody supports them. Ladies and gentlemen,
when we accept friends of the MICO.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Wayne. And if you can do me a favor, when you play that jingle towards the end, when you're finishing up the program, after the heat run off.
All right, Peter. You take
last
care.
lick.
Always a
All
pleasure
right,
to
Mike,
see you both.
appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Check out the latest single by Queen Kamala featuring Sativa, Tired of Crime and Violence.
Me say me tired, that me say too much blood I want. See that? Jamaica, we tired of the crime and the violence.
Check out this track on all digital platforms. Follow up on social media on Facebook at Queen Kamala, on Instagram at Queen Kamala, and on Twitter at Queen Kamala. For bookings, call 347-743-3348. That's the latest single by Queen Kamala featuring Sativa, Tired of Crime and Violence.
Why so much shooting? Why so much?
Drew Records, in association with Axim Records, presents the JIIFSC Reflection Projection event on a special edition of the Wayne Hall Show, hosted by Wayne Hall, Sunday, January 30th at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time via Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and the Wayne Hall Radio app. Join us as we reflect on our premier event in 2021 and highlight our projections for 2022. Special guest will be Lavern Deer, our 2021 winner from Canada. Russ Fraser Jr. and Raga Lux, our second and third place winners from the USA. Zena Banks, JIIFSC's first female finalist out of London. Rudy Page, CEO and founder of MCW Network London. King Noah out of Germany, our first entrant into the JIIFSC competition. And yours truly, Gary G, president and founder of JIIFSC. See you on Sunday, January 30th at 4 p.m.
That's right. That's Sunday, this Sunday. Be sure to join us, man. It's going to be a great reflection on the JIIFSC inaugural year last year and the upcoming second year this year. It's going to be great with Gary G and the wonderful guests that he just outlined. All right, ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is Dr. Lavern Deer. I'm going to put her on screen. All right. And so let me go over and do just that. All right. And there she goes. Ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at Dr. Lavern Deer. And let me tell you a little bit about her. She was born in Kingston, Jamaica, and migrated to Nassau, Bahamas at the age of 9. Several years later, she moved to South Florida, where she resided in Overtown and the city of North Miami Beach. Dr. Deer is a 2019 mayoral candidate in the city of Miami Gardens, where she's residing over the past 30 years. Dr. Deer is an anti-human trafficking advocate, and founder / CEO of Female Development World Organization, Inc., the FDWO. The Female Development World Organization, founded 2013, is a 501c3 organization, includes programs designed to raise awareness for the prevention of human trafficking, as well as help survivors to recondition their mind, body, and soul. Through its initiatives, local municipalities such as the city of Miramar, North Miami Beach, Miami Gardens, Fort Lauderdale, Oakland Park, Margate, West Palm Beach, Delray Beach, and Tamarack have supported the FDWO by hosting town halls and symposiums to build awareness for residents and officials. All right. During the 2018-2019 legislative session, FDWO and Dr. Deer worked with Florida legislators in proposing a human trafficking education bill. As a result, a policy was adopted by the Department of Education, making Florida the first state to teach human trafficking education in schools. Dr. Deer is founder of Caribbean Anti-Trafficking Committee, which was commissioned by Jamaica Consul General to Miami. All right. With a passion for learning, Dr. Deer obtained a bachelor's degree in healthcare administration and a master's degree in business administration, making her the first in her family to attend and graduate from a university. Dr. Deer's academic and community advocacy earned an honorary doctorate degree and a proclamation from the City of North Miami Beach Commission proclaiming May 29th Lavern Deer Day. Well, right now, we're going to have a Lavern Deer moment on the Wayne Hall Show. Good evening and welcome. How are you, Dr. Lavern?
I am good. Are you hearing me well? Are you seeing me okay?
I am hearing you loud and clear.
Good, good, good. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure being here today.
It's great to have you. And, you know, it's an information-packed show this evening. And so we just want to take our time. We showed a great video earlier, wonderful conversation with Mrs. Lorna Beck. And we can't wait to hear from your perspective because, you know, being commissioned to work on this, to work with, you know, in the capacity that you are with the CAC is such a great thing. So tell us about that. And also, you know, just from your vantage point, you know, where we need to be in terms of receiving information and how we can react to the information out there.
So thank you once again for having me. And as I'm quite sure you and your audience do know that January is Human Trafficking Awareness Month. And of course, you know, we can't take it lightly, but human trafficking is basically modern day slavery, holding someone against their will by force or coercion. And of course, if it's a child who cannot consent under the legal age, then it's considered child sexual exploitation. My goal and my passion is to raise awareness around the issues of human trafficking, particularly around girls, but of course, boys, you know, are trafficked as well. Awareness is key in the form of going out, educating the community. But what the path that I took was working with the elected officials, the local elected officials, in gaining their support, not just on the state level, but on the city local level, because you know you have the federal, state, and the local level. I worked with the legislators on the state as well as on the local level, as well as the school board. So by working with these elected officials who automatically have a passion to in public safety and educating their constituents anyway, And that has given us now an opportunity to see whatever resources that are out there. And believe it or not, it's none to little resources out there for taking on the form of raising awareness. There are more centered, which should be around victims, even though there's not enough support for victims. When you talk about the entire mental health trauma and long-term suffering for these victims, but most of it is for restoration. Most fundings that's out there is for restoration. So our goal is awareness. And of course, getting the word out there, we are strategic in how we do it. Meeting with the Consul General, as you see with CAC, educating from that angle. I met with the Consul General 2 years prior to CAC coming to fruition, and did some outreach at the Diaspora Conference on the Day of Service in Jamaica. And being there and realizing also how important awareness is, because not a lot of people understood or understand what is human trafficking. But the fact that there is such a high occurrence of child sexual abuse in Jamaica. So when you talk about, okay, human trafficking, raising awareness around human trafficking, we're talking about, the issues that's affecting the community. Our focus also is partnering with organizations in Jamaica that also work with child sexual abuse, such as E for Life. I don't know if you've heard of E for Life. Have you heard of E for Life?
No, please share that with us, please. Okay,
so E for Life is an organization in Jamaica that works with young girls who are sexually abused, contract STDs such as HIV, and get pregnant from their abusers. So they provide counseling services.
E for Life, okay.
E for Life, yes. And I would like everyone to look up E for Life. They're doing a great job. I actually serve on the board as well. I've been serving on the board since 2017, I believe. So working with those organizations in Jamaica and seeing and hearing directly from them, seeing and hearing directly from the survivors, the victims, it empowers me more to continue on the path of awareness. Yes, I also focus on helping survivors, but I would rather prevent someone from going into that life or getting killed, because some of them do not make it out. Some young girls do not make it out. Some, by the time they make it out, psychologically and mentally, they are so traumatized, it's really hard for them to try to transition into a normal life. So awareness is key for prevention. And sharing all of this with the Consul General, and of course, looking at the areas that he serves as well, we both came into the agreement that, okay, this is something that we could do. My organization is a 501c3 organization. And, it would only make sense, since we've already been doing this work, that we partner together. And he blessed it. And
wow, that's happy. Awesome. Yes. Yes.
Yes. And he sees the value. And as I was saying before, that, when you work with the local elected officials, that's where you get results. And it doesn't take a lot of money to really sit with them, because they have the resources within their own city or within their own constituents to do the work. Of course, now, yes, that we're going on an international scale.
Yes.
As CAC is, it is not just local, which means now that it's going to take a lot of work, a lot of traveling. So yes, funding is definitely needed now in this area to help us to execute the work, because the goal of CAC is to help prevent young girls from being trafficked from Jamaica to Florida through its border. And as you know, Florida, the top 3 states in reported case of human trafficking are border states such as California, Texas, and Florida. So it makes sense for us to, not because we live here in the States, to pretend that it's not coming to us, or it's not here, and don't do anything about it.
That's right. The aim, as it states in the briefing, is that you want to help to prevent victims. You want to make sure victims are not trafficked from the Caribbean to these states through any
Yes.
of its borders, and that you also have the campaign reduce the numbers.
Yes.
So those are very
Yeah.
clear. Yeah, objectives.
Exactly. And let me just say a little bit about the Reduce the Numbers campaign, because that's important. While we have CAC and CAC is focusing on the Caribbean aspect within the 13 USA, the 13 diaspora states, we have to focus right here also. And if we can work to prevent it from coming here,
Yeah.
then eventually that's one segment of
Mhm.
reducing the numbers. So
Yes.
it makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You spoke about needing assistance by way of funding. How can we help? How can anyone who's tuned in right now or who will hear this in the future help to contribute/donate to the fight against human trafficking?
So you can go to our website, fdwo.org. And as you open the site, you will see the donate button. And it will take you directly to our site, our donate page. You can make a donation there. Definitely any funding, any amount. I do have my Cash App that I can give you as well, but I will give you that in a little bit.
Okay.
But most definitely you can go to our website, fdwo.org.
Mhm.
Again, that's fdwo.org for Female Development World Organization. And while you're there, also take a look at the programs and the work, because we're also embarking on the environmental sustainability area as well, because that when people are displaced, they are more prone for trafficking. So it makes sense for us to get involved in that. You'll see some of the work that we're doing, especially around collecting the bottles, the waste in Jamaica, because that has become a major problem in the gully banks. You see bottles just floating around the community. And when you have a community that's full of blight, it's not good for raising a child and expanding a child's mind, to a good and green environment versus a slum. It affects their development. So it's important for us to also pay attention to the environment as well.
All right. FDW. I'm trying to type this in here. FDWO.org. And,
Correct. Yes.
Someone requested it be put in the chat, and I'm doing it right now. There
Thank you.
it is. There
Thank
it is. All right. Oh my goodness, Dr. Lavern Deer, ladies and gentlemen. And she's heading the commission, the Caribbean Anti-Trafficking Committee, commissioned a year ago. This year, of course, January is Blue Campaign Month, because the month of January is Anti-Human Trafficking Month in the U.S. And the month is about to wrap up, but I'm just glad we're able to share this information, Dr. Lavern, because, man, it's bad. I didn't realize.
You know what? It is. And if I can tell you, what I like is that more and more people are engaging.
Yes.
Like, people are reaching out to me more now, asking me, can you come and speak about human trafficking? And I'm talking about local community. Just yesterday, I spoke at our senior center in the city of Miami Gardens with almost 100 residents that was there, and then opportunities like that it gives me some consolation to know that, yes, people want to hear, because once you want to hear, it's going to make you now prone to take action and learn the signs of what trafficking is. I'm not sure if you're aware, but Miami Gardens have the stadium right behind in our backyard. And we have a lot of sporting activities that comes to our right in our backyard, which also harbor those type of activities.
Wow.
So yes, Miami Gardens. In fact, the last Super Bowl in 2020, 20 victims were, they recovered 20 victims from that event right in our backyard, the sport of the Super Bowl in Miami Gardens. So, and 2 of those were victims that was from right here in Miami-Dade County. And they were under 18. So when you look at that and break it down and knowing that, yes, it's happening right here in our backyard, you know, it just makes you know now that awareness is key, because if someone who lives here, these activities are happening and you don't know about it, you know, then yeah, but once you know about it, it just makes you now want to have a conversation with your grandkids, with your with the seniors. I gave them a charge to go back to their grandkids, their children, and start talking about it, having the conversation.
I want to try something here, because this is something very important to share. I'm going to see if I can bring up on the screen, and thank goodness it looks like it's up there now. Let me go over to the page and see if I can make it bigger. Is there a way to make this page any bigger? I've actually never done this, so it's interesting.
That's
All right.
okay.
But it's on the screen, and I hope the viewers can see it, because what it's showing is the location. I really would like to zoom on this. I'm going to give it a try here. Let me go up here and get into my zoom and make it big. There it is. Figured it out, Miss Lavern.
Okay.
All right. So on the screen, I don't know if you're able to see.
I'm not seeing. No, I'm not seeing.
Most times my viewers can't see it. But I have ranking by total number of calls and ranking by number of calls per capita. And you know what just struck me? I live in a city where we're ranked second on the list of total number of calls per capita. Atlanta, Georgia is second on that list.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
And Washington District of Columbia, that's the capital, literally, is number 1.
Okay. So let's stop and think about this. You're in Georgia, I'm in Florida.
Yes.
You're familiar with the Jeffrey Epstein case.
Yes.
Well, that's right here in Palm Beach in the state of Florida. Right here. The Giselle Maxwell, who just actually came off trial, found guilty for several charges, right here in Palm Beach in Florida. And I just had a conversation. I was, you know, one of the things that I do, I empower my board members and committee members as well to go out and also speak about this in your environment, so to make sure that we're reaching the very grassroots, basic, as low a level as we can. And a coach, one of my board member who's a coach, happened to be having the conversation with a parent. And he was shocked at the response of the parent when the parent told him, well, that doesn't happen in our community. You know, that only happens to the runaways, and that only happens to the girls in the lower socioeconomic communities. And he said he was shocked. But yet you have the Jeffrey Epstein who's in Palm Beach recruiting girls and trafficking them. So there is a disconnect between what the reality of the residents in their community sees and believe versus what's really happening.
You know, one of the things I often hear, like in the household as we're watching news and see crime, is how members of a community always come on and go, we never thought it would happen here. It's such a nice neighborhood. It's so peaceful. It's so calm. Hey, people live there. And
Yes.
These are things people do.
Yes. And
All
as
right.
long as there are children, and there are children who are vulnerable, there are perpetrators out there that are lurking, and they lurk for those naive communities too, believe it or not. You know, so that's why it's important that, you know, we just have to go in every angle, wherever we can go, whoever we can touch, and educate them.
Okay. So once again, friends, we're talking with Dr. Lavern Deer, and she's heading the Caribbean Anti let me make sure help me out here. Caribbean
The Caribbean
Anti-Trafficking
Anti-Trafficking
Committee.
Committee, you're correct.
And a lot to grasp here. And ladies and gentlemen, please support. You said you were going to give the Cash App and
Oh,
just
yes. Let me
just if you could
that
give us
for
the
you.
Cash App and just anything else that I might not have
It
prompted
is
you.
actually FDWO 2021.
So $ FDWO
DWO
2021.
2021, yes.
Let me try to type that here. It's $ FDWO and the numbers 2021. Cash App for donations. All right, there it is. Okay, so Dr. Lavern Deer, thank you for all your hard work, man. Keep on keeping on. I know this is not our first conversation.
No.
I know it won't be the last. Anything
And I
else
know
as
it
we
won't
wrap
be
up?
the last. And I'm sorry?
Anything else as we wrap up?
Yes. I want to acknowledge our Consul General once again for being such a visionary and seeing the vision in the work that we're seeking to do. The South Florida Human Trafficking Task Force did a training yesterday.
Yeah.
And they were talking about connecting the faith-based community. And I'm just so proud to know that we're on the right track because we just hosted a National Day of Prayer, and our target also is in the faith-based community. So I want to recognize Reverend Horace Ward, the senior pastor of Holy Family Episcopal Church of Miami Gardens, and these are the members of the Caribbean Anti-Trafficking Committee.
Okay.
We also have Lorna Shelton Beck, who you hosted earlier, of CEO of Healthy Lifestyle Network in South Carolina. Moira Williamson, who is a civil engineer, and she's also the environmental management in Jamaica. She resides in Jamaica. And of course, Cheryl Winter, who's a community relations officer of the Consul General office, and one of our newest member, who's Dr. Rosemary Lewis, who you may know as the president of the Jedias Jamaica Southeastern Board. So I want to acknowledge and thank these individuals who are giving of their time to strategically put together a plan, and keep us in your prayer, because this is not an easy field. It's also comes with its course of danger. So keep us in your prayer as we go out, because we're determined to make an impact in our lifetime, and your love and your support is always, always needed.
Dr. Lavern Deer, thank you for everything you do. We continue the fight. And you know what? Never be a stranger. If something needs to be shared, we're here, willing.
Yes, and I appreciate you opening up your platform.
Oh, absolutely. This is crucial. This is important. And also, this is community. And
yes,
we got to do it. We got to do it. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Have a good evening. Thank you to your audience. Good night.
You are welcome. Take care.
Gab Jewel Records, in association with Axim Records, presents the JIIFSC Reflection Projection event on a special edition of the Wayne Hall Show, hosted by Wayne Hall, Sunday, January 30th at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time via Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and the Wayne Hall radio app. Join us as we reflect on our premier event in 2021 and highlight our projections for 2022. Special guests will be Lavern Deer, our 2021 winner from Canada, Russ Fraser Jr. and Raga Lux, our second and third place winners from the USA, Zena Banks, JIIFSC's first female finalist out of London, Rudy Page, CEO and founder of MCW Network London, King Noah out of Germany, our first entrant into the JIIFSC competition, and yours truly, Gary G, president and founder of JIIFSC. See you on Sunday, January 30th at 4 p.m.
Check out the latest single by Queen Kamala featuring Sativa, Tired of Crime and Violence.
Me say me tired, that me say too much blood around. You see that? Jamaica, we tired of the crime and the violence.
Check out this track on all digital platforms. Follow up on social media on Facebook at Queen Kamarla, on Instagram at Queen Kamarla, and on Twitter at Queen Kamarla. For bookings, call 347-743-3348. That's the latest single by Queen Kamarla featuring Sativa, Tired of Crime and Violence.
Why so much shooting? Why so much?
I'm Dead, Now What? I'm Dead, Now What is a must-read that chronicles the experience of laying a loved one to rest in Jamaica. I'm Dead, Now What is a true life experience of the ups and downs of coordinating a funeral. It tells of the drama, the stress, money worries, and all the unexpected that rises when a person dies. I'm Dead, Now What is a great combination of storytelling and advice. It is humorous, witty, and helpful. Get your copy of I'm Dead Now What today at Amazon.com, CreateSpace.com, and www.IamDeadNowWhat.com. Join the author, Wayne Hall, as he navigates the inevitable aspect of life. I'm Dead Now What is also available on Kindle and in French.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for checking out the Wayne Hall Show this evening. Thank you for tuning in. It's such a pleasure. I want to shout out everyone on islandworldwide.com, all our audience there, all our audience on reggaevibesradio.com, our audience on Clark TV Network, our audience on Hype FM, our audience on viscosityblend.com, youchooseradio.com. Big shout out to all of you. Such a blessing to have you all enjoying the Wayne Hall Show. Also want to say big shout out to Yardflow TV streaming the Wayne Hall Show. It's a pleasure to being on all your platforms, and God knows I appreciate every one of you listening tonight. And those watching on the WayneHallShow.com YouTube. That's right, we're on YouTube Live and live right here on Facebook. Good evening and welcome, everyone. Thanks to everyone who's liked, shared, and in some way or another supported the Wayne Hall Show. My next guest, ladies and gentlemen, let me just tell you a little bit about her, and then we can get into some more. Yes, Dr. Zeudiann Coleman is my next guest, all right? And I got some information I want to share with her for you, all right? And she is a native of the beautiful island of Jamaica, lived in New York City since 1986. Even then, she had the ambition to become a primary care doctor so she could reach out to people in need. Top of her class, she attended a science-based school where she excelled in science and research. She went on to be accepted in 1992 to Howard University in Washington, D.C., starting her pre-medical academic career. She later relocated to New York and completed her pre-medical studies at State University of New York in Purchase, where she has a published research study and earned a dual bachelor degree in biology and chemistry. A year and a half later, while working in corporate America, she was accepted into Life University Chiropractic School in Georgia, where she earned her doctorate in chiropractic medicine. Her leadership qualities will always be remembered at Life University as president of one of the most popular student clubs, the Social Adjustment Club. She organized community service for the Atlanta Children's Hospital, service to women's shelters, victim relief shelter project, and mentored to other students on the art of educating others on healthy living and chiropractic. Her interests include traveling, car racing, and she's a fashionista. I can't wait to put her on the screen for you. Her favorite movies, she's one of the Atlanta's young and innovative doctors that love people. As part of new generation of doctors mastering the art, cutting-edge patient care, she's certified in over 5 different chiropractic techniques, high and low force, which are customized for each patient. Dr. Z. Coleman recognizes the importance of staying at the top of the technological ladder and chiropractic education. She specialized in extremity adjustment as she realized the increased number of patients with not just back and neck pain, but chronic conditions of the hands and feet, either from work or play. She loves reggae, salsa, classical, pop, and soft rock, and Afro beats. Favorite books include Lover's Leap by R.S. Smith, her uncle. It's my pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to go over to Zoomland and bring you none other than Dr. Z. Coleman. Please unmute. Good evening and welcome to the Wayne Hall Show. How are you?
Thank you, Mr. Hall, for having me on your show. I'm excited, a little nervous.
Dr. Z, after that, you can't be. I'm the one who should be nervous. Oh my gosh. Ooh.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm a very humble person, so I'm the gal that's in the background doing all the work, and I don't mind looking like the regular person in the office, and everybody else gets the credit. That's how I function.
Well,
Yeah.
very, very humble, very modest. I'm sure the audience will love that. But isn't it a pleasure to have her on, ladies and gentlemen? Good to have you, Dr. Z.
Thank
And
you.
I tell you what, I really would like to just use that video of yours. You were just featured. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so my brick and mortar business is in Conyers, Georgia, in the Rockland County. And, the commission visited my office by surprise and
Wow.
was like, we need to feature you on our, business featuring on Facebook. And so it's like, sure, and of course, just like I am today, I was very nervous. And so they basically sent someone out to, see what we do and just kind of like give them a tour and, introduce them to the staff. It was really, really professionally done. And it was just very nice to know that, someone that's voted in, a politician, someone in high places, find my little Z Chiro and thought it was something that needed to be put out and for everybody to know where we are. And so they, took care of all of that. And thank you to Rockland County for doing that for us. It's, surpassed all our expectations. And now a lot of people know where we are in Conyers. So yeah, we are on 2202 Salem Road in Conyers, Georgia, which is just a 30-minute drive from Atlanta or most of the major areas. So, if you're in that area, if you're 30 minutes away from the airport, you can always find us.
That's right. And so what I'd like to do before we even get into finding out a little more about your background, et cetera, is play that video real quick. So ladies and gentlemen, please sit back, relax, and enjoy this video. Reflect that, as she said, she was voted and they did the video, and here it is.
Hi, I'm Dr. Coleman, and I'm the owner of Z Chiro Med Spa. I am a holistic chiropractor, where we specialize in not only cleansing, rejuvenating, and replenishing the entire body, but we also address the entire spine. We help people of all ages. If you have a spine, you're working, you're exercising, if you are just having bad
I don't know when I'm on
these
and when
are
I'm
the
not.
clients that come in. And we have great instruments and equipment that help to feel better without having to depend on medication. We've been in Conyers for 3 years, but I've been in practice for 15 years.
It's very important that you come in. That's the only way we help you.
I've worked with other specialists, and so I was happy to bring my practice here and serve the community. In Rockdale County, there's this feeling of southern hospitality. There's a blend of different cultures, different people, and I'm used to that. I'm from a different culture, and I like the fact that people are able to welcome me in their community and allow me to help and serve. So coming into this area has been a pleasure. When you come in, you're going to be greeted by our wonderful front desk, Simone.
Good morning, welcome to Z Chiro Med Spa.
Welcome.
I'm for basket. Alrighty. First, take your temperature.
She will accept your ID so we can identify you and get you set into our system. And then you have some paperwork that you have to fill out so that we can get some information about you before we start our consultation exam.
Now we're going to get you ready for your body.
We get you into our exam room and we start our triage. Or MA will go ahead and take your blood pressure, vital signs and so forth, the body scan that gives you an entire, I'd say, report card of your health.
So this is pro so that we are able to electricity from your body. And so this will be your heart, and this will be the pericardium, which is around your heart.
At that point, I come in and I do my consultation exam.
Probably have some inflammation in this area right here.
Most of our care, all of our care is standard. So, it's nothing that you shouldn't get at a medical facility as far as physical. But as a chiropractor, it's a little bit more detailed because we are focusing on certain things. So once we're through with that and explaining everything, why you have pain, and just kind of making sure that we have all the information so we can come up with the best working diagnosis, we then go ahead and start the process of your treatment. You get you on the treatment table. That's where we do electrical stimulation therapy.
The electrical stim, what it does is to reduce pain naturally. Let me know when you start to feel anything.
We do ice or heat therapy. We do a little bit of massage, percussion massage, or massage therapists are licensed massage therapists in the state of Georgia. And what's special about my chiropractic adjustment is that I use a technique called the activator technique, which can be used on anyone from a baby all the way to a 100-year-old person. And it's least invasive, there's no popping or twisting, but this technique is great for someone who may have some fear about moving their body in certain ways.
Well, this is an system adjusting equipment which we use to align the spine and other joints. Both hands on your back.
Yes, I do know how to use my hands to adjust.
Breathe in, blow it out. Kind of like behind you.
We book them for their next appointment, and our appointment system is really good. They can either go online and book, or they can book us ourselves.
The foot detox is another way of pulling toxins from the body, and basically something that you do on a daily basis when you sweat. But what we're doing in the foot detox, we're actually pulling more in a small amount of time. And so there's going to be changes in the water, different colors that indicate what areas of the body that we are detoxing.
So you're right, please.
Everyone is welcome here. We don't discriminate in any way, and we also help with people who are able to find the right doctor that they need to. We can also refer them out to specialists. So you can find us at 2202 Salem Road Southeast, Conyers, Georgia, and the zip code is 30013. Our business hours are very unique. We're here Mondays, Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Wednesdays and Thursdays we're not here. Feel free to give us a call. It's 678-508-8465 is our number. Or you can reach us at 678-754-6877. Our website is www.zchiromedspa.net. And that would be ZCHIROMEDSPA.net. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Chiro Med Spa, and that's ZCHIROMEDSPA. I mean, I'd like to encourage people to not wait for the pain. Start to maintain and manage your body, because usually pain is the last thing that actually shows up. And at that point, you're getting into like critical care, and then you have to work your way out to corrective care, and then wellness. Don't just come in because you have pain. Come in for maintenance. And our maintenance is very affordable, so that it isn't money's not necessarily the main issue. It's more of your bigger why. Having the best to you, being there for your family, and I think that a healthy community is a thriving community.
All right, so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize for that little bit of a drag and repetition in the sound, a little bit of echo caused by it, but I'm sure you were able to hear you could hear it, but there was a little bit of echo, and I apologize for that. So Dr. Z, unfortunately, when you're on my Zoom, you don't see when I play a video. If I play audio from mine, you hear it. So I apologize for not telling you that before. But lots of great feedback. Someone says, Andrea McNeish says, wow, awesome chiropractic facility. Nice. Well, that's the whole idea. Now you know it's worth the drive wherever you are in Georgia to go over to Conyers and get taken care of. So, Dr. Z, tell me about you. I'm curious to know.
Well, I'm an open book. So where do you want me to start?
Where are you from? We're in Jamaica.
Well, I was born in Mandeville, Manchester, and lived with my mom in a different parish after the age of 8 in St. Catherine, Old Harbor, St. Catherine.
Old Harbor. All right.
Yeah.
St.
My
Catherine.
mom was, yes, absolutely. And my mom was a teacher. She taught at a primary school in St. Catherine, and I in turn passed my exam to Immaculate. I think I was around 11. No, I might have been 10.
Okay.
You know, just trying to think about how young I was, you know, studying for major things like that. And, you know, being a daughter of a teacher, you know, the expectations are pretty high. And, you know, I try to succeed at as much as I could. And I think it's just not just being a daughter of a teacher, but I think in general, most Caribbean parents instill their kids to be the best. And I got that from both my parents. They both were professionals and, you know, had good work ethics. And I think that all of that good home training,
yes,
along with being the oldest of 4, and you know, it all just was like training ground to the woman that you're seeing today. And you know, even though now my mom has passed on, I feel like you know, her spirit is still in all of us, and you know, we're all, you know, just carrying out that purpose, you know, that gift-giving purpose. So that is how I look at my, you know, career being a chiropractor. I look at it as more like my, you know, my personal gift and purpose to community. And so when you see my office, it's all about helping others, giving, being there to motivate and to encourage people to be their best them.
So speaking of to motivate and motivation, how did you have the motivation to be a chiropractor? Because, you know, when we grew up in Jamaica, one of the, I can't even remember as a kid or even before I left Jamaica, ever seeing a sign somewhere that says chiropractor. So where did that influence come from? How did you get inspired to choose chiropractic care? Curious.
Okay, so you want to hear the long version or the short version?
Give me the short version.
All right, the short version. The short version was, well, here it is. I am, you know, a little girl, and I've been in many doctor's office in my life, in my early time. Living in Mandeville, it's always cold, and I was always having like a cold. Now, even in the household I was living in, you know, it seemed like being around my grandparents, my grandfather, they were like the first doctors that I know, because, you know, they would put, you know, they will mix things together. They have a herb for this and a herb for that. And, you know, I remember having mums, and I remember them putting all the stuff around me, and I'm sleeping with leaves in a bed and sweating stuff out. So early in stage, I was exposed to holistic medicine. The way my grandparents understood that. And I thought my grandmother was the herbalist, but it was my grandfather. She just cooked up the stuff and, you know, applied. She was a nurse. So then, you know.
He was the brains behind it. He was the prescriber.
And so, yeah, absolutely. And so I have one uncle. My grandfather had 9 kids, 8 girls and 1 boy. And he was about 10 years older than me. So he went to Homewood, and he was a very well-known soccer player. His name is Diego. And so I remembered being that 8-year-old, 6-year-old walking on his back. He's like, walk on my back. And so, you know, for me, it was fun that I was walking on his back, and he would feel better, you know, because that was like the thing, you know, he needed relief. I didn't think, nobody knew what chiropractic is, as you're saying, but he
Right.
knew that created some relief. And so, I'm 6-year-old, 7-year-old, I would walk on my uncle's back and he would have the relief. And for me, that was like, wow, I even though I'm having fun trying to balance and everything, I'm doing something good. So I didn't mind doing it. And then what happened? I'm just going to rewind this, or go fast forward, I should say, going back to New York. I'm in college and I'm doing a part-time job. And while I'm in college, and I hurt my back while I'm in this part-time job. And so where did they send me for workers' comp? To a chiropractor. I had no idea. I have never been to a chiropractor before. I've been really more exposed to allopathic medicine, with the, regular chiropractor, regular medical doctor. So when they sent me to, first they sent to a orthopedic doctor, and they gave me a few injections in my shoulder, and that hurt so bad. I don't like injections.
Okay.
So, I wasn't happy with the outcome. And so I started complaining. I was like, I don't know if this is working. So they sent me to a chiropractor, and I was very skeptic, because I'm like, what is this place? Why are all these little gadgets and, all this stuff? And I was very skeptic, and to the point where they gave me another chiropractor, and this is in New York. And so I was exposed to chiropractic through workers' comp. And in the end, long story short, not only was my shoulder getting better, but my back and some other things that I didn't know was going on with me. I didn't know I had a slight scoliosis while I was having all these back pain while I'm studying all these years, all that stuff. And just a few things I didn't know about myself that a chiropractor actually told me about. And as a result, that's where my turning point was, where I started to find a lot of, started to ask a lot of questions about the profession. I even volunteered at my chiropractor's office for a couple of months. And then I was beginning to start thinking, oh my God, I want to go that direction. Now, mind you, I'm actually getting ready for the MCATs to go to medical school. And my parents, already knew what I was doing. So now I had to break it to them at some point that I'm changing my mind about what direction I wanted to go. And that was pretty hard, because they had no idea what chiropractic was. And, what was told to me was like, you're confused. So why don't you just go to nursing school? You're upsetting your dad. Your dad's now like, what's going on? So I did go to nursing school. And then my mom was a nurse. She ended up being a nurse when she came here. She got out of the education and went into nursing. And I already knew what the nursing thing was all about, but I did it for my parents. I went one day nursing school and decided I was going to make a big decision on my own. And I broke it to them, and I was on my own then, so there was no return. So I made sure I excelled and did what I needed to do. And right now I have family members that if I don't show up with my stuff and to give them and to, make sure I have my equipment, because they have experienced the gift of getting chiropractic adjustments. Awesome. My grandmother, before she passed, when I used to travel to Jamaica, I would bring my stuff and she would enjoy just the relief. She had arthritis. My grandfather. So I was able to touch all these people, even my mom, before they passed, to experience chiropractic and the relief and have a better quality of life. And they embraced chiropractic to the fullest now.
Great. So it's interesting to hear that, because it's funny how things drive us to what we end up doing in life. It's awesome. It's amazing. Someone I know had a rough experience with teeth as a child and became a dentist, etc. So very good. When you're not practicing, how do you unwind? Let's find out a little bit more of your relaxation side of Dr. Coleman. What are some of the things you like to get into?
Well, to tell the truth, I love getting away. I love getting on the plane and going somewhere. And even if I have to do it by myself, and I've done it by myself, I've done it with family members.
I love that.
And had great times with no matter what it was.
I love that. by
Yeah.
yourself. You're not going to wait on
Yeah.
anyone to come with you. You're not going to plan around anyone. You're going to do that for you. Yes. Well, my guest is frozen. I guess she'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Dr. Zeudiann Coleman, and she's of Chiro Med Spa, and they're out in Conyers. I will see if we can refresh her feed here momentarily and get her back on for you. And just a great practice out there, as you saw in the video earlier. And I do encourage those of us in the Metro Atlanta area that can go on out to go out and check her out. Let me find some information on her location for you, because she's still frozen on my screen there. And they are out at 2202 Salem Road, Southeast, and that's Suite B, behind the Burger King, out in Conyers, Georgia. All right. Again, she's out there in buildings in Suite B. All right. So let me go back over. I guess she'll rejoin. Give her a moment to rejoin us on Zoom. She's coming back, and here she is. So we're gonna go right on back over to Dr. Z Coleman. Let me pull her up right now. There she is. All right. So welcome back. Sorry, we lost you for a little bit there. Let's unmute so we can hear what you're sharing.
No worries.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. So, Dr. Z, you were just telling us you're not going to wait on anyone. You're just going to go take care of you. I love that. Really.
Yeah.
That. Okay.
And I encourage people to do that, because it's, I'm in the business of reducing stress, relieving pain. And one of the things that people I see, even in my family or even just friends and family, they work. They don't spend time to de-stress, and that could lead to other issues. So it's important, that even if as an entrepreneur, there's a lot of people who are running their own business, that you have to make time for self, even if it means, just closing everything down, turn off the phone, book an Airbnb down the road, just something, a new, environment, so that you can de-stress, declutter, take care of self. And that's really what chiropractic is about maintenance and wellness, and, approaching your health in a preventive way.
There's a lot of skepticism. Let's talk about the practice itself now for a little bit. There's a lot of skepticism about chiropractic care. You'll hear someone mention something and you'll ask, do you have a chiropractor? Have you got? No, I'm like, no, you leave in more pain than when you went there. So there are some folks like that very skeptical.
I don't have a problem addressing that. I feel that we're living in a society where we want everything quick and now, and to some demise. Some people would go to do surgery, get somebody to cut into them just so that the pain can go away, like today. And as a result, sometimes they live with life-lasting, scar tissues and reduced range of motion. I'm not saying that, surgery is not necessary, but not everybody needs that. So, sometimes it's important that we, I think, have a mind shift on how you see chiropractic. A lot of how chiropractic is seen in society right now is because of propaganda, because of other people who realize that our route will probably cut out a lot of money from going that direction. And as doctors and serving the public, we should be looking out for the best interest of the patient, not necessarily the bottom lines of hospitals and whatever private practice. And even as chiropractors, so we too could use that same statement. We need to be looking out for the best interest of the patient. So usually when my first patients come in, sometimes they're skeptic, because I was skeptic too. Remember, I told you I went to a chiropractic office, and I understand exactly how they're feeling and what they're thinking, because they're probably been only exposed to allopathic medicine, get that quick injection and the pain is gone. It's not magic. The pain is gone, but it can come back if the main cause is still there.
Still not treated.
And right. So, where I find chiropractic fits in is, even though, we're primary care physicians, that mean you can come straight off the street. And if you have a headache, if you have back pain, whatever, and we will conservatively approach your problem. If it's something that you've had forever and ever and ever, like it's not going to go away tomorrow. You have to put some time in it. And so I would tell my patients, when they come in, what to expect. Like this is like going to the gym for the first time. You haven't been to the gym in a while. And so you're going to get a little sore, and that's normal. Once you educate the patient on what to expect, like when I go, to the gym and I get a personal trainer, he's like, look, this is what we're going to do. This is what we expect. You may get sore, but this is what I recommend you do. If you want to get the result, you have to be compliant. And so most people, when they stick to it, they realize, oh my God, I didn't know that, I could ever get rid of this pain without having to take a pill. Right. So yeah, I mean, not everybody is a chiropractic candidate, number two. So, that's where the chiropractic comes in, and, their conservative care doesn't work, then we refer them to the appropriate specialist, whether it's an orthopedic doctor or a neurologist and so forth. And, then you move up the step with, now you may need intervention with drug therapy. And so there's a place for chiropractic. And I feel like once we have that re-education of what chiropractic is and how it can help, then we'll have less of those narratives, the negative narrative. And I think media gives us a bad rap. They'll put something on a video or a movie with somebody getting adjusted and, walking out crooked. I've seen those kind of things. So hopefully with improved research, and there's so many research out there now that we have, as chiropractors, pooled our money into doing more research, because, we don't have the big back end like the AMA, the American Medical Association. They can put out their research and be seen, and everyone's like, oh yeah, look what they do. So now we have lots of chiropractic schools that are putting together, alumni putting their money together and supporting great research and working with medical doctors, working with scientists to show that chiropractic is not just something you believe, it's science. So once we have that information out and we can change that narrative, then, we can help more people.
Great. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Dr. Zeudiann Coleman. She specializes in chiropractic care right here in the Metro Atlanta area, out in Conyers. And they're winners award. They were recognized, as you saw in the video. And so she's doing great things out there in Conyers. Now, please repeat for the audience how we can, your website, address, etc., how we can contact your office for a consultation.
So for a consultation, you can always, check us out on Facebook. We have our information there at zcaromedspa.net if you want to check our website. Our phone number is 678-754-6877. That's directly to me. Or you can get our front desk with our lovely front desk personnel. She will be happy to help you. And that number is 678-508-8465. We're on Facebook and Instagram. Zcar Med Spa is the name. And again, we're at 2202 Salem Road, Southeast Conyers, Georgia. And you can't miss us. Where, if you're in that area, where it's very easy to find. And we're also expanding to Alpharetta, Georgia, so we can help, spread our 5-star service to those folks up there. So once we get our, coming soon, I should say, in Alpharetta, all that information is online. Great. And so we'd be happy to, I would love to work with my Caribbean and American sisters and brothers, and help them be their best self.
One thing I can say for someone who visits a chiropractor often enough is once you've learned or discovered a good adjustment, you never look back. So
there you go.
No, you've all of a sudden you just no, my body shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't. I need an adjustment.
Right.
Off to the
Yeah, you have
chiropractor.
more.
Yeah. I always kid my
like
chiropractor.
Self-love. So you get to identify what your body likes. Yeah.
I always tease. I say, man, no matter how short I come here, every time I come here, I leave taller. The adjustment straightens me out. I feel taller. But Dr. Coleman, so much we could talk about, so many angles to look at this. But in essence, you do offer a great service. I want folks to be aware of that. But what else is there that you'd like to share with us tonight that I might not have asked, that it's something you'd really want to get out there with our audience?
Well, I know that our community, people from the diaspora, we're here, we're professional, we work very hard. And, we get a lot of recognition because of our work ethics and, just who we are. To tell the truth, just saying that I'm Jamaican, makes a huge difference in my business. I'm just happy because for some people, it doesn't matter what the race is. They're like, oh, really? Because they know the work ethics of Caribbean people on a whole. And so, I just want to encourage us to maintain our body. When we're in our countries, in our island, we have time to unwind and de-stress. We go to the beach, we do, these extra things that we don't necessarily do now that we're here in the United States and we're chasing the dream. It's important. Even, for people in my mom's generation, they come here and they just want to make it the best thing for their kids. That you don't want dying, not having that quality of life because they're working. So I just want to encourage you guys to, continue preventive care. Don't forget the roots of de-stressing and, don't forget your natural healing things that we used to do in the islands, drinking coconut water, eating fresh organic food, stuff like that, exercise. I used to be the field doctor for the Caribbean Soccer League, and you'd have like the older guys out there, 50 and above, and they're, I don't care if they're win or not. I'm just happy that they're moving, they're doing stuff to, get their energy up. And, you got the young ones there, they're full of energy, full of testosterone, but it's so important that we get out, we move, we eat healthy, and have, a healthy emotional well-being too. And that all of that incorporates chiropractic. If you guys feel that you need to de-stress or you have back pain or, you want to work on your nutrition or your emotional well-being, we have all that in our office or any chiropractic office near you. It doesn't have to be me. I just want us to continue to flourish and be the best us and continue that great, what's the word? As Caribbean people, we're always put up here because I guess we're known for our work ethic. So let's take care of self. Let's take care of self. Yes.
Before you go though, one of the things that jumped out at me in your video earlier is the fact that inflammation can be present in your body, but not necessarily be a terrible pain, a big ache. It could literally just be throwing off the equilibrium in a certain part of your body, but not be coming through as something that like a headache, a headache grabs your attention and I'm good. But you did that scan and, it's possible that we even have inflammation in areas that we're not even aware and what the cause might be.
That is so true. And, Mr. Hall, let me tell you, the body is engineered so well, like the creator thought of everything. And that's one of the things that really, got to me when I was exposed to chiropractic is that you can't judge your health by how you feel. You can't judge your health by how you feel. Like the first sign of a heart attack is a heart attack. The first sign of a stroke is a stroke. So some of these chronic things that we have, what we feel and, that feeling, we might not feel anything and then we're out, right? But inside, when the equilibrium is off, the body gives us time to figure it out, or it gives itself time to create that equilibrium. And when it cannot create that equilibrium, then it starts sending that signal to you, oh, something is going on. So you may have, like a little palpitation in the heart. And you're like, oh, I don't know, what's that? And then you start drinking water and, some people take a pill and, just kind of brushing things off and keep moving. So you can't judge your health by how you feel. So it's always important to get checked, get screening, go to your doctor, get your physical, come in and so we can check those things that you cannot necessarily feel. Now, inflammation is not a bad thing. Inflammation is the body's way of dealing with these issues. So say you, because inflammation is the beginning of most diseases, right? Say you ate something and it kind of upset your stomach or whatever. When the inflammation starts, what happens is the body sends all the soldiers that it needs to take care of that little incident, right? Mm-hmm. And it may not be that you have this stomach burning and all this, big thing that now the brain is saying something is going on. It just kind of took care of it. It sent all the inflammatory, things in the area. If you have an ulcer, little platelets, all the, the bacteria, the macrophages to mend and heal the area. Okay. And all that stuff is going on all the time, 24/7 in your body. You don't have to think about it. It's happening. But when the inflammation gets to a point where it cannot do what it's not healing the problem, then it becomes a dis-ease. The tissues are now, getting to a state of dis-ease. And then that tissue becomes a disease in the organ, in the system, so forth and so forth. So yeah, inflammation is the start of most disease. It is our friend because it helps the body to be signal like, oh, let me send my soldiers over here and take care of this stuff right here. But if it reached to a point where soldiers, are not working, you might have to, get the helicopter guy and come in. You need other people to come in. Right. So that's where the other signal is sent off. Yeah. And you may feel pain then because it's obviously not getting better and they're not reaching equilibrium. So, what you want to do is have your lifestyle where you're helping your body to have your soldiers ready. Like most people are like, oh, I never get sick. No, it's good to get a little sick here and there. So those soldiers get a little bit of workout. They've been exposed to something.
A little wartime practice.
Right. A little something. It may not be the big blown up stuff, right? But a little something so that, it knows what to do when the big stuff, they're not sleeping when the big stuff comes around. So, in my office every year, I always encourage people to take bitters. I do have people of all ages and all nationalities come into my office. And when I expose them to bitters, which is something I grew up on in Jamaica, didn't like it and all that, they realize how well it helps them because it's going to help their liver, kidney, and the colon. And all of those areas are usually susceptible to inflammation. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so just, doing your cleanse, eating healthy foods to replenish good stuff into the system so that when the body needs it, it's available. So that's our approach as far as preventive care. And, as far as, other things like car accidents and so forth, those are, other things that chiropractic do very well in because we're helping the body heal properly instead of throwing a pill at it. So, I just want to let people know I emphasize wellness. We may, see, people who have been in accidents or injury, but I like to look at the body as a whole. And so, self-love is important. Take care of yourself, reduce stress, take a trip to Jamaica once in a while, go see your family. Love it. Get in that salt water. It's so funny. My grandmother was like, go in the salt water and cleanse yourself. And I'd like, okay. I mean, I don't know how to swim very well, but I get in the water, right? So as I get older, I realize how much rejuvenation I get at the beach, and the salt water and just the environment is so refreshing and de-stressing. I just can't emphasize about, de-stressing, because stress actually leads to other things. It's like a silent killer. So, in these days with the pandemic, try to maintain and manage your stress properly, because, that can lead to other things, depression. There are a lot of people who are depressed. They're gaining weight, they're, having relationship issues now that they're seeing each other every day, they're stuck at home, stuff like that. Lord. Or even just recovering from, having COVID. What you want to do is do as much as you can, cleanse so that your body get rid of all the clutter, rejuvenate your body or replenish your body with healthy foods, minerals and so forth, get your Irish mosh and all that stuff that we learned back,
That's
parents or grandparents used to talk about. Those things help. And, just do preventive care.
Two things before you go. Keep adding, right?
That's
Speak
fine.
to the myth about age and getting chiropractic care, and also the myth of, not myth, and also the fact that chiropractic care, you said someone recovering from COVID, there are things you can do for respiration, right? So really quick. Yeah.
Yes, real quick. So age and chiropractic. In my office, I see people from, a chiropractor can see from babies, like just coming out of the womb to 100, as long as you have a spine. So it depends. I use an instrument to adjust. So my adjustment is high tech, low force. So I can address a lot of different kinds of patients. As far as the older generation, as we get old, age is relative. So I'm just going to put that out there. So if you consider yourself older, there you are. But as we age, sometimes we don't move and stretch some of the things that we usually do as younger folks. And so what happens is your body gets stiffer and stiffer. So getting chiropractic care helps to keep motion, and motion is everything in life. Motion, if you don't have motion, what's going to happen? You're going to get stiffer, you're going to feel older and more decrepit. So, right. So it's important that whether you're coming to the chiropractor for your, once a month visit, get a massage, and then you go home, you do your stretches, your Tai Chi, or just, go dance to some calypso and move your body. Just keep moving. I don't care what you do, just keep moving. So it doesn't matter about age. I feel that as we get older, we probably need more chiropractic and less drug therapy, because I see a lot of aging people, they depend on the pills, and it just add more and more issues to their system, and they're already on other stuff for diabetes and this and that. So, what's also important now that I'm going to incorporate the COVID situation, if you are taking a lot of pain meds, and you already predisposed to other metabolic issues like diabetes, heart issues, hypertension, you can be more susceptible to having COVID, because, sometimes those anti-inflammatory pills or those pain pills reduce your immune system. So when we were in lockdown and people couldn't get their drugs, of course, we were also considered essentials. So we'd have people who couldn't get their drugs, they'll come in now and try to get relief through chiropractic, and also seeing the benefits. They don't have to depend on the drugs or the medication as much. So getting into COVID, having a proper spinal structure is important, because the spine actually, all the muscles that allows us to breathe are attached to the spine. One of the major thing that's going on with COVID is it can't breathe. Or, if you have weak neck muscles, you can't expand your lungs like you should. So there was research showing that when you exercise your neck muscles and have stronger neck muscles, where if you ever get COVID, you can have a better respiratory process, because these muscles here actually help with your breathing along with the muscles around your rib cage. So, you can do things to help, just in case you get exposed to it, that you're at least ahead of the game and you're
Right.
not, with weak muscles, weak structure, and now you having, hard time, dealing with breathing and so forth. So yeah, even just getting adjusted can actually help create an equilibrium, help your body boost immune system, etc. So, you never go wrong with having a good chiropractor in your sleeve. I always say not all chiropractors are equal, so find the one that works well with you. I can voucher for most of my colleagues from Life University. We were well trained as chiropractors and, in the art of healing. So there are other chiropractors out there that do a great job. So, just find the one that works well with you. It's the same thing with finding a doctor, a GI doctor. You don't go to any GI doctor, right? You go to one that, you're comfortable with. You don't go to any primary care. You just find one that is comfortable with you and you're comfortable with them, and you can be open so they can help you.
And I promise this is my last question. It's from a viewer. Raquel is asking, does your office accept Blue Cross Anthem? She's ready to come.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. The office in Conyers, it's more holistic. So we don't accept commercial insurance. And I tell you the reason why is because most of the time, especially this beginning of the year, most people haven't met their deductibles. They still have to come out of pocket anyway. And I just don't like the idea of being, sometimes with insurance, they won't pay for the things that you really need. So in my Conyers office, I don't take insurance, but we accept like health spending accounts, Care Credit, regular cash card, and in the future, maybe Bitcoins, who knows?
Oh,
But
wow. There we go.
but I have to say, I am also a doctor in the Atlanta area in Hapeville. I work for a medical doctor and One Wellness Medical Center, which I've been there for 11 years. They have totally, understand what chiropractic is and how it works well with their patients instead of giving, medication all the time. And so that was my niche as far as working with an MD, internal medicine doctor. And so if you want to come to our office in Hapeville at An Medical Center, I'm there too. I would love to help you guys. We do accept most major insurance there. So you do have choices.
Great.
Yes.
Great. So I'm gonna put this up on the screen here. Hold on. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, let me find that. There it is. So again, Dr. Z. Coleman sharing a lot of insights into her field and practice here tonight. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Wayne.
There's the banner offering a holistic approach to health and wellness. Chiropractic and physiotherapy, personal injury, massage therapy, laser treatment, weight loss program, ionic foot detox, infrared sauna, herbal supplements, full body scan. Body health screenings with L Coach, value $49, now only $29. And
yes, just for a screening. I encourage people, like we were saying today, you can't judge your health by how you feel. So, for me, I don't have a problem reducing my screening cost so that we get more people getting checked, just seeing where they are, because you don't know what to do. You're just troubleshooting, you're trying this, you go in Google and you're Googling stuff. I mean, you're wasting money when you need to reach a professional that can help you and that is an advocate for your health. So getting a screening is awesome. And our health coach is also Jamaican, Miss Sharon Reed. She is the one that, gives her time and her talents to reach out to people and get them screened. So if you want to come in for a screening, give us a call. If you want to come to our Atlanta, to the Atlanta office I work in, give us a call. We can certainly get you where you need to be so you can get help.
Walk-ins are welcome. They have convenient hours, and the address out in Salem again, out in Conyers again, is 2202 Salem Road, Southeast, Suite B, behind the Burger King out there in Conyers. Oh, Dr. Coleman, we appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Hall. I totally appreciate this. This was fun. I actually just getting relaxed now.
I couldn't tell.
Just getting relaxed.
I couldn't
Yes.
tell.
Oh,
Awesome
thank you
job.
very much.
And
thanks to your audience for participating and asking questions. If they have more questions, just go on our website or call me. We're here.
Awesome. So there you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Z. Coleman, Chiro Med Spa
Yes.
here on the show. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All the best.
Thank you.
You take care.
Have a great day.
All righty. Bye. Bye-bye. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. An extended version of the Wayne Hall Show, but we had to get great information out. Thanks to everyone who listened. Thanks to everyone who watched and liked, shared, commented on the Wayne Hall Show tonight. We truly appreciate you. We'll be back next week with another great episode. Same time, same place, on these same blazing stations. So, one and all, thank you. We appreciate you. Have a great evening, and thanks. Join me on Sunday at 4. I'll be on with Mr. Gary G. and the crew as we reflect on the JII FSC from last year and tell you what we have in store for this year.
Gav Drew Records, in association with Axim Records, presents the JIIFSC Reflection Projection event on a special edition of the Wayne Hall Show, hosted by Wayne Hall, Sunday, January 30th at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time via Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and the Wayne Hall Radio app. Join us as we reflect on our premier event in 2021 and highlight our projections for 2022. Special guests will be Lavern Deer, our 2021 winner from Canada, Russ Fraser Jr. and Ragalux, our second and third place winners from the USA, Zena Banks, JIIFSC's first female finalist out of London, Rudy Page, CEO and founder of MCW Network London, King Noah out of Germany, our first entrant into the JIIFSC competition, and yours truly, Gary G, president and founder of JIIFSC. See you on Sunday, January 30th at 4 p.m.
That's right. We close out with Richie Stevens' Valley tonight. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate it. Good to see you, Raquel. Thank you, Dr. Coleman. Michelle Gordon-Walker, good night. Thanks for stopping by. Gregory George Smith, bless up to Master Bling. Natalie, Sky Voice. Lawrence, thanks for passing through. Janice O'Shea, good evening. Good to see you. Andrea Brown McNeish, thank you. Don Richards, thank you. Okay. Let's see. Presented clearly, Nadine Ellis. Good to have you. First Lady Michelle and everyone else who participated on the Wayne Hall platform tonight. Have a great one. See ya.
But when you got blessed, know that it make you fearless. Yes, sir. I know I'm not walking alone. He's walking beside me. God is my fortress. 'Cause when you got blessed, there is no weakness. No one. Right now I'm mightier than ever. The more them fight me up, the stronger I get. The Lord will teach you lessons that you don't know nothing about. Prayer is more effective, yes, than cussing people and running your mouth. Stay firm, maintain your happiness.